Hello, everybody. Ezra Levant here, Rebel Commander at the Rebel.media. Used to be our name. We're now rebelnews.com. I have just learned in the past hour that not due to any of our own efforts, but rather through the slowly spinning wheels of justice on their own, Anna Slatz, our reporter who was in New York covering the protests and riots there, was finally released from custody after 2 nights in jail. I learned of this via the Canadian consulate in New York City, not from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lawyers that we had retained for the purpose of achieving Anna's freedom. I am shocked that she went through the process without the benefit of our lawyers. One of our lawyers had filed an appearance notice with the court that he would be there at her arraignment. That's the fancy way of saying when she would go before the judge, the lawyer would appear. Now, because of the pandemic, our lawyer would appear via Skype or Zoom. But Anna had her arraignment. She had her moment before the judge, and we did not know about it. Now, we have, in fact, filed the appearance. We have the correct arrest number. The clerk of the court told our third lawyer, "We screwed up majorly," said the clerk. Well, could be, but I don't know how that happened. And we're looking into it. But of course, that is a secondary concern to me. The first concern to me is Anna's own welfare. She's a young woman from New Brunswick spending 2 nights in jail in what I would imagine is a maximum security setting, very uncomfortable at the best of times and full of protesters, rioters, who knows what. In an extreme situation with very little communication. Must have been an awful experience. There was no communication between Anna or us other than that first 60-second phone call 2 nights ago in which she told me she had been arrested and told me the holding facility she was in. We went to great lengths in that period of time to lawyer up, but those lawyers all failed. There's just no two ways about it. It could be that the failure was because the clerks did not inform us, because the pandemic made things sketchy to begin with, and then the massive arrests made it even worse. According to lawyer number 3, the clerk said we screwed up, referring to the court. I'm sure that's no consolation to Anna. She had her personal property taken from her at the police station, so she walked out of court alone, which is a great disappointment to me, given that we had a lawyer literally standing at that building along with Yankee Pollock, who we had sent down. But it's a massive building, the Central Criminal Courts of Manhattan, with 2 massive front entrances, 2 entrances that both call themselves a front entrance. So they obviously missed her as she walked out. And we immediately sent Yankee and lawyer number 3 to the hotel where we now know Anna is, and we know this only because she tweeted it. Here, put Anna's tweet up on the screen. Anna tweets a picture of herself outside the Brooklyn police station, and she's looking alive, if not necessarily well, and says she's going to the hotel to call her family. I don't blame her one bit. Why would she call her unsuccessful advocates and team of lawyers who, frankly, were of little use or adornment? Like I say, I'm going to put aside the post-mortem here for later. My concern right now is making contact with Anna. We have Yankee staying at the same hotel. Give me that image whenever you have it. At the same hotel, so hopefully they'll see each other. Yankee and Anna are friends before I even met either of them. Our lawyer will be there to, lawyer number 3 will be there to talk about what futile efforts we did make, however useless they were. So I want to put this out there and tell everybody who was rooting for Anna these past 36 hours that she is free. But honesty compels me to say she is free in no thanks due to our efforts, which, however manic, yielded no fruit. As I've said before, we have raised funds for our impotent legal team, and any surplus thereof will be given to Anna as a sort of danger pay bonus. I can imagine that sum is larger now than it would have been had our lawyers been successful. I don't know if it's unfair for me to blame the lawyers. It could have been that in fact the screw up was completely on the part of the courts, but it's a lawyer's job to look into things and check, double check, and triple check until the safety of the client is achieved. So that's my update for today. Looks like we can't get a picture of Anna's Twitter comment for you. You'll have to find it yourself. In closing, we remain deeply concerned about Anna's well-being, as we have the whole time. That's now layered over with a confession of uselessness for our efforts to free her, of relief that she has in fact been freed, of consolation for what she went through, of solidarity with her from whatever friends we have dispatched, including Yankee. And I regard myself a friend of her, though I was of not much use these past 2 days. And hopefully we will be in communication with her soon. But I have, it is no surprise that the people she wants to talk to are her own family, not us. So there is a sort of mea culpa. We did everything we could. It was just useless. Thank you to everyone who supported SaveAnnaSlatz.com. A special thank you to the Committee for the Protection of Journalists, a major U.S. free press organization, which highlighted her case. I note that not a single free press organization even mentioned it. I put it to you that if a mainstream media journalist, such as with the CBC, had been detained for 2 nights in a U.S. jail without facing a judge, it would have been in the top headline, and Justin Trudeau most likely would have weighed in and talked about the evil Donald Trump. Alas, when it's an independent journalist at Rebel News, not a peep from any Canadians, including the false advertising Canadians journalists for free expression. Here's the tweet that I've been meaning to show you. Anna Slatz, boy, do I have a story for you. Please give me a few to catch my bearings, to get a hotel, and to speak to my family. Yes, my glasses are broken. That's part of the story, babes. Well, hopefully she goes back to the hotel that we had booked for her 2 nights ago and that we extended today. That's the hotel Yankee is at. And I look forward to hearing that story, and I regret that we were not part of that story's happy ending. All right, there you have it. We did our best. It was not good enough. Anna was spat out by the justice system. Too late, but spat out nonetheless. And we'll have some investigating of our own to do about how we could have dropped the ball, if it was us who dropped it. And at this point, my hunch is that it was. Thank you to everyone for your support. I'll sign off now. If I hear from Anna directly, or if I have any more news, I'll send it to you. Until then, thanks for your support.